What are dark skies? They mean everything to me. I'm an amateur astronomer. I've been involved with um, astronomy and stargazing like since I was a kid. And it's, dark skies is kind of taking that to the next level as far as, advocating for protecting the night in general. It's not just about stars. It's about, wildlife and the cultural connections we have with the night sky. Also, like, when it comes to, inclusivity and including all people, and all kind of has a part here because a lot of people don't include darkness as something, they're afraid of it and they want to exclude it. And so looking at dark skies, looking at darkness, as an element itself. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm interested in dark skies. Yeah. I feel really sad about that, and honestly really anxious. I was out the other night. It was kind of cloudy, and I looked up, and all I could see was blinking lights from airplanes. And it was a very unsettling experience. Um, and so, you know, yeah, those are, I guess, the best feelings, like sad and anxious. That's really what it brings up for me. Well, personally, where I live, as you can see in my background, this is a picture from my hometown of Paonia, Colorado. And, I've always, throughout life, I've been involved with astronomy, but it wasn't until I moved here to Paonia where we have such an incredible view of the night sky that it's really activated me to get involved with dark skies, because I see how quickly the night sky is we're losing it across the nation and even across Colorado. I used to live on the Front Range in Boulder, and I know, what the night sky is like there and how diluted it is with sky glow. And in Paonia and in, many places, other places in Colorado, we still have that view of the night sky. And so having that and being able to see that, that's really activated me to want to step in and protect it, because it's like we say, once the genie is out of the bottle, it's really hard to get back in. So once you have too much light, it's really hard to get your skies back. So really, in these dark places that we already have, it's really important to protect what we have so we don't lose it. Yeah, I have lots of stories. I mean, one of my favorite ones, I think, was, so I lived in the Front Range for a number of years, and at a certain point I moved to Durango, Colorado. Um, and I remember not long after I moved there, I was up in the middle of the night, and, I went outside and I opened my front door, and the Milky Way was rising right over Mount Smelter, right outside my front door view. And it literally, when I looked and felt that, it literally like knocked me over. It like I had to, like, I almost fell down when I opened the door. It was like some energy came in and like hit me like that. And I've never experienced, such a physical sensation from the stars like that. It was like something just kind of knocked into me. It was really interesting. So that was probably one of my most memorable moments of connecting to the night sky. Yeah. Gosh, there's so many consequences. Not only do we lose our view of the stars, which is amazing and inspiring, but really the wildlife. I really feel for the wildlife. The wildlife is so devastated, and, not just big game, but we're talking about like birds, for example. Most birds migrate at night, and we're finding that they are just devastated by light pollution. The bird populations across the world are a lot lower than they used to be, and one of the reasons is light pollution. And then also like the insects, are, I learned this recently, they're not attracted to light so much as they're confused by it. So when you see all those insects spinning around the light, they're confused, and that harms them as well. And there's, an insect apocalypse going on now. And again, looking at light pollution as a source of that. So, it's not just humans and human health. We're seeing cancer, metabolic disease like, overweight and diabetes, as well as mental health issues from the light pollution and the blue screens. So humans are feeling the health effects, the animals, the little animals, the insects, they're all feeling it. And another one is, it's a social justice issue. A lot of native cultures throughout the world, pretty much everyone I've ever heard of or studied has a strong connection to the night sky. And so as sky glow and light pollution increases, it prevents those cultures from connecting to the stars, and that can have big impacts. Like that's what tells them when to do their ceremonies. It tells them like certain behaviors of animals when they do certain things. And so by losing the stars there, we're also losing that cultural connection. So, and then even like climate change, you can add that in. Like every time there's wasted energy, wasted light, that's wasted energy, and that's contributing to climate change. And it's, costing money. Like our town of Paonia changed our streetlights, and we're saving over $1,000 per month in energy savings just on those new streetlights. So, so many reasons why losing the night is bad, and why dark skies and protecting night is really beneficial. Well, that's luckily a pretty easy one. Most people know what to do. The easiest thing you can do is turn your light out. That's number one. If you don't need your light, just turn it off at night. That's the best way to reduce light pollution. Aside from that, we have principles for responsible use of the night. So really just going out caring for the night in mind, then you can only use light when you need it. You use your lower color temperature light, like the blue and white light is a lot harder on our systems. The red light seems to be easier. So we want that lower color temperature, using light that's as dim as possible. And then shielding, that's really important. Having good shielding that points the light down and where you want it. So on a practical level, like being responsible with your light is number one. And then I think the biggest thing that we need to do, from the dark skies movement is just a lot of people don't know about this issue, and they don't understand how harmful light is on human health and the environment. And so really just educating and spreading awareness, that's so many people I tell and they get it. And you can see that, metaphorical light bulb go on, hopefully it's shielded. But you see that go on, and then all of a sudden, they get it, and then they can see it, and they become sensitive to what's going on. And bringing people out to see the Milky Way, that I find is probably one of the best ways to inspire people. Once they see the Milky Way, they want to, they're like, whoa, that's something that's worth protecting, and they want to take that back to where they live. So yeah, so those are some things that can be done.